Back with Bobby and JJ Radio. We're talking to the District 2 Councilman, Mr. Alan Warrick. Alan, let's jump right back into this. I know you were talking about the 4 zeros that you want during your term. A lot of this is going to kind of coincide with Promise Zone 2 work.
Right.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What is it?
Well, Promise Zone to Work ties into one of the issues that they saw when the mayor was the council person, that we had a much higher rate of unemployment on the east side than the rest of the city. So the city of San Antonio right now has a 3.9% unemployment rate. But in the Promise Zone, when I first started as a council person, it was about 15% unemployment. Wow. Now it's a little lower, but it's still 3 times. We're at about 12.5% unemployment.
Wow.
So we've made an impact, but we're still got to get that closer to what the city average is, which is pretty much functional employment, where once somebody loses a job, they can get a job somewhere else.
3.9 for sure.
Yeah, so it's very little time on unemployment, and it's very positive for our community. But in that side of town, in the Promise Zone, and I guess we should talk about the Promise Zone as well.
Sure.
It's a federal designation for an area. Whenever there are federal grants that are tied to this area, they get additional points if they meet the criteria that we set for them, which is pretty much 40% of the funds need to be spent in this area, and then the rest of the funds can be spread throughout the county or the city based on other programs that these organizations have.
That's awesome.
So what kind of things are you doing to bring down unemployment? I don't understand.
So the Promise Zone to Work program is going to be focused at the ETSI, which is our Eastside Educational Training Center. So this is a one-stop shop that's going to have college classes from Alamo Colleges, St. Philip's. So you'll have construction, CNA, nursing. You'll have a Texas Workforce office there. You'll have daycare there. So a person goes there, they won't have to make 5 or 6 stops to go to all the different locations. We'll have SAGE, which is San Antonians for Growth on the East Side. They'll have a maker space there. So if people are looking to do some kind of food trucks or cook food and sell those foods, they'd be able to do that there. And all these things would be held at one location, as well as the truancy court. If your kids or young people are not going to school, you could, get that court there, but you also get some additional services. Maybe the parents need a job. Maybe the parents need help finding more education and get a better job. So all of these things will be housed at the ETSI, and that's one thing that we're setting forth, and it'll be coming online next spring.
What is your plan with the Workforce Solutions Alamo?
Workforce Solutions Alamo is the key partner in that, as far they're going to move their location from East Houston Street to the ETSI, and then from there they'll be able to partner with all these organizations, whether it's the Goodwill, Alamo Colleges, St. Philip's, in order to make sure that it's seamless and it's not an overly burdensome process where a lot of these folks who are on the bus have to catch 5 or 6 buses to hit all those places, whereas it's just one bus stop. You go into the building, and this is an old elementary school, so it's big enough to house all these programs, and really make it easier on the folks that are trying to get work.
This Goodwill workforce training, tell me how you envision this really helping this unemployment go down to 0.
Well, the key is strong emphasis on the types of jobs that are in demand right now. Security technicians, coding, all the things that are going to make people a living wage, where if we give them training, we don't want someone to go through the classes and still have a $9 or $10 an hour job. We want them to be able to get $15, $17, $20 an hour. And these are the kind of professions that we're putting forth for people, but there are also professions that are in high demand, as well as some of the technical things that are going through manufacturing, like at Toyota or at the Amazon facility that's out in Shirts.
Right. And this one's a little more closer to our heart, the 0 of vacant homes. So tell us the areas that you're focusing on where the vacant homes are pretty...
Well, it's a lot of the neighborhoods, Dignity Hill, Harvard Place, which has the new East Meadows project, which used to be the old Wheatley Courts projects, the Sutton Homes, Government Hill, which is right next to Fort Sam Houston, Denver Heights, which is just south of there, right across the freeway from Southtown, Lavaca, King William, and the Hemisphere. So all of these areas are seeing the majority of the emphasis, but there are areas further out in the Northeast that are getting a little love as well. But because of the market and the proximity to downtown, I think it's stronger for us to focus our attention inside the Promise Zone.
It will spread, I feel like, if you start there.
Well, we've got to make it as strong as we can there and fill in all the gaps, show these successes, and then we can start moving it out to other neighborhoods.
I agree. That's awesome. But so we have a lot of people coming down there, like Crockett Street Residential Development, New Leaf Homes, Rising Barn, East Meadows, vacant city-owned lots. So all this stuff is just kind of all happening at one time.
Yeah,
you feel.
no, Crockett Street is very similar to like your 1221 Broadway
Right.
or your 1800 Broadway project, but it's going to have mixed income residences. So folks that are workforce that are making $30,000, $40,000 a year that couldn't imagine to live in the Pearl because it's just too expensive,
For sure.
can live in Crockett Street, have a lot of amenities, be right next to Sunset Station, and have a great quality of life, as well as be able to walk or bike ride if you work downtown. So I think it's a great opportunity for someone just getting out, but it also will also have market rate units there. So someone that just wants that lifestyle,
Sure.
that can afford to pay $1,500-$1,700 for apartment would love to be there as well because of the same reasons.
Yeah,
It's
location.
Exactly. And then East Meadows is a great project. But I think the real catalyst and the game changer is Essex, which is probably why we have Efraim Varga here.
Sure.
Because it's really one of those things that really, I guess the easiest way for a San Antonian to understand it is Pearl for the East Side.
Pearl for the East Side.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about Essex. Again, this is Alan Warrick Show with Bobby and JJ Radio.